Hello and welcome to an Aintree special of In the Saddle. It is Dave from Cheltenham. It is Daryl Carter. Daryl Carter, you've turned a double carpet today, 33. Many congratulations. Happy returns.
Thanks, mate. I don't know if it's many congratulations. All downhill from here, I hear.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier. But I mean, I'll let you know when I get to 33 how I felt about it. Let's move on with Aintree because we get told off for talking too much as it is. Looks pretty easy, to be honest, doesn't it? Thursday's my favourite day at Aintree because of the fact there's only one handicap. Admittedly, there's a Foxhunters in there as well, but it's just back-to-back graded action. This should be a doddle this week. Kick off with the 2.5 mile of the Manifesto Novices Chase. The good thing is, like, we haven't really spoken since Cheltenham, but I know for a fact which horse you're going to like in it, and I'm going to take him on. He says maybe I'll have to leave him out for the purpose of this. I'm going to go first, and then I'll leave you to have a go at me because it is your birthday.
Go ahead.
I like Fuser Raffles as a horse anyway.
Here we go.
Middle distance, good ground. Like, it's the dream for him. And 6-year-olds have won like 7 of the last 8 renewals of the Manifesto Novices Chase. Like, it's not an old man's race, and the young pretenders don't get any weight for age, so it's hard for them. Clarkham did do it as a 5-year-old, so that was okay. Fuser Raffles will definitely be there or thereabouts. 7 runners is the slight concern because there's only 2 places up for grabs. Protectorate was one that I hoped went for the RSA at Cheltenham. Didn't. They skipped it. Windop, tongue tie, all of the can't breathe stuff. He's going in as well. I'm going to just put them 2 in because I think Fuser Raffles, Protectorate, one of them is definitely getting in the first 2. And I'm hoping your guy bombs out because I think you're going to put up
Hitman. Hitman is the one I'm quite keen on seeing. Look, the ground's a slight concern with him, but he's only had 7 runs in his life. What he's achieved so far is quite remarkable, really. Thought he was better than the bear result by All Mankind. He holds Eldorado Allen on that form. I think this trip is right up his street. So, yeah, providing he handles the ground, I think he's going to be there or thereabouts. I can't really see the likes of Fusi Raffles improving past their mark of 155. I think they are what they are. Whereas Hitman, young horse, progressive, I think he's got loads more to come. So he's going in. Eldorado Allen is actually the only one's going in there for me. I think 2.5 mile step up trip was very interesting. I know he was running for a place at Cheltenham, but he did stay on really strongly. The amount of ground he made up from second last to the line was pretty impressive for me. Like I say, he's got reverse form with Hitman. I think Hitman wins. Eldorado Allen will be there or thereabouts. Bang, we're through to the next leg, Dave. Don't worry about Fusi Raffles. He pulls up.
No, don't say that. No, Fuser. I like Fuser, and this is the trick for him. Obviously, he ran at Cheltenham, didn't he? Like Eldorado Allen did. Hitman's come here fresh. That's my only slight niggle with him, but nah, never mind. Good to see them, isn't it? 7 runner race, and we've got 4 horses between us. Second leg, though, this won't take 4 horses to go between us. This is the 4-year-old Juvenile Hurdle. We know Paul Nicholls has held a load of horses back, as you've alluded to there with Hitman. Monmorel looks head and shoulders above, but I'm pleased they've run Adagio because full-blown proper match between the pair. And I don't think there should be as much price difference between the 2 of them. So I'm sticking both of them in for belt and braces, but I'd expect Monmorel to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Adagio does him.
Totally agree. The bet in this race is Adagio. That's the bet in this race because there is, I mean, look, if you're going to take the form line of Haydock literally for Monmorel, then he's, like you say, head and shoulders above it and well clear. I don't think that Nassalam really gave his running that day, and he's got to prove he can do it on a quicker surface. For me, Adagio's going to enjoy this quicker surface, and I like the fact that when he beat Nassalam, Blue Girls and Ellen Valley were both in behind, finishing, fairly close together. They both went out and did the same thing, finished 3rd and 4th in the booths. I think that is the truer form line for me. So Adagio at 5-2, definitely a bet in here. Monmorel may well be miles better than Adagio, but I do think that run at Cheltenham behind Quilixios is by far the strongest piece of form in the race. He was keen that day. I think the prior form at Chepstow is fairly useful. And I think he's not got it to prove for me, whereas I think the odds-on favourite Monmorel's got it to prove. So Adagio, the bet in that race.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then I know we get told off for talking too much, but to touch on that Haydock run, like Nassalam and Monmorel were pretty much joint favs, weren't they? Monmorel wasn't even fav that morning, whereas like now we're coming into this race, Adagio and Monmorel, like I say, I reckon the depth of how they've beaten Nassalam as a yardstick, they've both proved they're much better than Nassalam, yet you can get like much bigger price on Adagio than you even did in Nassalam in the match. Like he's the wrong price, isn't he? But yeah, Monmorel might just be dangerous. Betway Bowl, mate, gets easier because man like Tiger, he's finally back at Aintree. Look at it, I bought the jumper and everything. Go on, the Tiger. He won't be going on my slip though. I like the fact that O'Leary's trying to stick one up at the handicapper, saying, "I'll prove the point that he's not up to this mark." I think he'll run well, to be honest. He likes it around Aintree. We talked about, people say, didn't they, a couple of years ago, stick him in a Gold Cup, he'll do it. This is a poor man's Gold Cup, and because it's a poor man's Gold Cup, Clandazobo probably is going to win it for me. First time cheek pieces worry the hell out of me. I don't like it when Nichols starts sticking headgear on a horse first time up. We saw what happened to Cernan when he ruined him. So I absolutely have to go for a bit of cover. I don't really massively rate Waiting Patiently around Aintree either, but I do think he's the most likely horse to put it to Clandazobo. So I'm just going to go for 2 again in here. Clandazobo, Waiting Patiently, but I think this could be a tricky little leg to get through.
Very tricky. Tiger Roll, first one on my list for this. Yeah, seriously, mate. This, like you say, is a terrible race. You go through this, like, Native River for me needs more spaces between his races nowadays. So a quick turnaround for him, I think, is a worry. Clandazobo was poor in this the last 2 years, or poor at this meeting in the last 2 years. Waiting Patiently has not been great at this meeting either, although the step back up 3 miles is definitely in his favour. What on earth they were doing dropping back to 2 miles, I don't know. It's just, that has just been some very strange training for me with Waiting Patiently. 2 miles, 3 miles, 2 miles, 3 miles, horse don't know what he's doing. Clondall Castle's got an outside chance. Mr. Fisher's got an outside chance. I'm going to stick. I am going to stick Mr. Fisher in as a bit of cover. Militarian, the 133 rated 11-year-old is going to go in here at 125 to 1 to see if he can grab a place. I just think he's been desperately crying for a step up to 3 miles, and he might just be able to run into a place. But Tiger Roll, Mr. Fisher, and Militarian.
Nice. It's definitely got that sort of feel about the race, isn't it? That you'd like to hope Tiger. Yeah, it could have an upset, but if it's the right ones, then we could like a clown for putting cover in. Anywho, Betway, Aintree Hurdle, the middle distance one. This is for the tripless horses, but there's bundles of them this year. This looks a proper hot race, doesn't it? I've got it. I think I've just got it nailed. But early on in the season, we talked about McFabulous, didn't we? And we just knew, even after that first run in that Persian War, that it's an Aintree Hurdle horse in it. And as much as I think that he could get beat, he's got to go in the slip, because I think this is the perfect race from ground or suit, distance. Everything's just fine for McFabulous. So he's definitely going in. Jason the Militant would not have been on my radar for this race right at the beginning of the season, but the fact they skipped Cheltenham to keep him fresh for this, Henry's not sending his horses over just for the sake of it, so he's going to go on the slip as well. And man like Bouverdere, he's not going to win this. He can't win this, but he's got a good record in the race. Normally, when he's done well in the race, he's coming off the back of like some decent form, which he hasn't got at the moment. But surely most of them are going to be behind Bouverdere. Like, he's going to snick him for a place. So if there was any sort of upset and shorter priced horses didn't come in, man like Bouverdere is going to get me through.
Yeah, I think you've got. Do you know what? I want to argue with you, but I do think you've got it. I do think you've got your right head on this week, because there are negatives with nearly every run in this race. Like, I've settled on Jason the Militant, but I worry about the ground. They've said time and time again that when he ran in his bumper on debut behind Envoy Allen, the ground just jarred him up a little bit. It took him a while to come back. So they've been looking for soft ground for him. He ain't going to get that here. But he's rapidly improving at a rate of knots. And I'm just wondering, with this step up and trip, better ground, it might not be such an issue. He's a bit of an older horse now. Rachel Blackmore on board. He's going to be running prominently. I do like Jason Militant. I think he's the one that can take that step forward. Bouverdere is very interesting. I don't think he is obviously the horse he used to be, but we do see these horses return to form, a bit of form, and if he returns to anything like what he was doing a couple of years ago, then he's going to be miles clear of these. But McFabulous, I just don't know. I don't trust him, Dave. I don't trust him. That run at Fontwell was terrible. He hit every single hurdle. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. He was well beaten by Brewing Up a Storm, and that just put a different spin on it. I went back and looked at that Real Kill hurdle over 2 miles 5. Time thinking was fantastic. But again, it was on the blind side. It was in second, only beating 2 lengths. I know he did it fairly easily, but I just don't know. Like you say, this could be the race for him. This could be everything in his favour. Whereas not a lot of these have got anything in their favour. Stepping up and trip 2.5 for a lot of these is not going to be a good thing. I'm going to stick Not So Sleepy in. I'm going to stick Bouverdere in. I'm going to stick Jason the Militant in. And I'm going to stick Buzz in. Yeah, I know. But the step up and trip is a source of improvement for Buzz and Not So Sleepy. If you go back and watch that Champion Hurdle run, he did remarkably well to finish 5th. He was outpaced at a crucial stage. Although, again, another negative with him is he's never won a race on good ground. So, he could just run into a place. So I'm just looking for the place market in this race, to be honest with you, Dave.
Yeah, superb. It's on unofficial ratings, everything bar Miller's Bank is 150s plus. Like, there's not much split in the whole field on figures, so it could this sort of race in it that could be run 4 or 5 times and you get different results.
Yeah.
Buzz won't be one of those results, I'm afraid, mate. Anywho, we'll move on to the Foxhunters. This looks an absolute doddle, right? But I'm gonna curse myself for not going into it deep enough because I don't know enough about the Foxhunters scene, those hunter chases to dig enough into the form. The one that won at Cheltenham, if you had looked into it a little bit, there was clues to be had there for it, wasn't it? So I'm going to rue the fact that I've not dug in deeper. But Billaway, Willie Mullins, he just sent it over. He said Patrick can get a winner. The drop back in trip I've always thought would suit Billaway. I thought the trip was testing him, and he ran so well at Cheltenham anyway. So Billaway definitely there or thereabouts. And Cat Tiger, man like David Maxwell's back. As if they're not going to set up a winner for David Maxwell when he comes back. Cat Tiger, Harry Cobden looked like he only just got him to win it. I think maybe it was Leicester he ran the last day. And I questioned at the time whether the horses wasn't very good, whether Harry Cobden wasn't just very good. But I think they were just letting it have a nice, easy ride in preparation for this. So it's first 2 in the betting, but they're going to be first and second anyway. So done.
Yeah, it's exactly the same for me. First 2 in the betting, Billaway. I was absolutely gutted when he got nailed at Cheltenham. And Cat Tiger. Yeah, move on. 440.
So 440, seeing as it's your birthday, you've got an absolute, well, not an absolute worldie you fancy there, but you've got one you quite like. So I'll let you go first, and then I'll just nick it.
Yeah, I really like Moon over Germany for this. He's a double figure price, and I'm shocked he's double figure price. I definitely think he's been targeted at this race. The spin at Navan behind any second now on heavy ground. In a grade 2, he ran really well for a long way. That came after a 169-day break. It was his first chase run for almost a year or so. He ran really well, just faded, in the closing stages. Castlegrave's Paddy went out and ran easy game close next time out. I think that's decent form. I think that was a prep run for this. The last time he ran at Aintree was in the grade 3. He beat Lady Buttons by 10 lengths off mark 136 in the Red Rum Handicap. That is this. So he's returning to try and win the same race again. Jordan Gainford claims £7 off him. Grade 148. He's basically off mark of 141 here. That's only £5 higher than that 10-length victory in 2019. I think this has been a target. He's been kept over hurdles. His marks dropped as a result. I think he's a good thing, and I think these are terrible handicappers. How was edited the Geek shorter price than Moon over Germany?
Madness.
Like he's back on better ground. I don't really see the negatives with him. You know what I mean? Like the last time he ran on good to yielding ground was in Tipperary in a grade 3. Wasn't beaten far by Robin DiCarlo. In second was Put the Kettle on, a subsequent Arkle winner and champion chase winner. How the heck is the likes of Editor Geek a short price of Moon over Germany? It's absolutely balmy. Like Dostel Phil is a shorter price than Moon over Germany, Dave.
Do you want to cover in the race, or shall I just let you carry on rambling?
Well, no, go on. I'll stick in the other bomb-head runner with Rachel Bratmore on board, Jan Matt. Because he's been wanting a bit better ground, and he's the only other one that I thought was really interesting. Everything else for me, not well handicapped. I can't believe Editor the Geek is a shorter price than Moon over Germany. Like, who's doing these markets? Because I want him to do every market.
Well, you found yourself a little match bet market there on the side, and you get on Betfair and get them 2 quoted up, and then you can smash that. I do agree with Moon over Germany. My concern is with the other one that you've touched on there, Jan Matt. I think the better ground for him is going to suit. Maybe Moon over Germany is like the little red herring in there. Everyone's going to jump on that one. Jan Matt's a 20 to 1 poke. He'll be carrying a few units, so the pair of them are going in. But I love Sully Dock, so he'll go in there until the day that he retires. I think the step back in trip probably isn't going to necessarily suit on the quicker ground, but I still think he's got a race in him off his mark. And Getaway Trump, when he won that novices handicap final at Sandown a couple of years ago, that was off 147. He gave Harambe the future Greatwood winner after that stone. I know he looks high on what he's done more recently, but he's 149 rated. He ran close to Happy Go Lucky, who's about similar sort of rated horse. He runs pretty well when he's running well. He's running well at the moment, so he could be there or thereabouts. There'll be 4 places up for grabs. I'm sticking 4 horses in to get first, second, third, and fourth.
The handicapper gave Matt £6, the English handicapper. He's given Moon over Germany, who's a 10-length course and distance winner, 3. Oh, mate, this is a good. I can't say certainty, I can't say good thing, but this is as close as you're going to get.
Boom. Well, that wraps it up nicely for the Thursday. We've definitely, I'm pretty confident in there. That first race that looks a little bit fiddly, we've both got cover in there, haven't we? So might as well get involved in both our slips. Or don't buy into either of them. Do your own ones if you think you can beat us, because anyone can be a syndicate captain. Anyone can create their own slips. Anyone can play it solo, but mainly just back my ones because I'm going to smash up Aintree. Hopefully we'll be back with...
How is it to get a shorter price than Milan Germany? How? Sorry, go on.
Over and out. That's the end of it now. I can't be bothered anymore. Good night, good bless.